How are we doing today? This is Eric on Two Wheels. Today we'll be changing out some tires on a KLR650. You don't need anything fancy at all. You just need a set of, what I'll be using is Bead Pros to break the bead. And they're also tire spoons as well. They're from Motion Pro. They work great. I also keep a set of these in aluminum in my pack, so when I'm on the trail I can also change my tires as well. I'm going to be using the Bead Buddy. They work great for your spoke wheels. Valve core removal, of course. I'll be cheating a little bit to help me get the tube through the tire, through the wheel rather. And two short lengths of precisionally cut 1-inch box of wood. We have the normal standard duty IRC tubes, usually for off-road use. I recommend using the heavy duty. These are going to be on Shinko 705s, however you want to say that, and a little bit of soapy water. That's all you really need for this. In most situations, you won't be able to have both wheels off the bike like this. For me, I'm fortunate I bought a second set of wheels for my KLR650, so I can run a set of off-road tires and a set of more street-oriented tires. But we're going to start off by removing the valve core. After you remove the valve core, I set the wheel and tire up on the 1-inch blocks, making sure that it's not on the spokes and preferably off the tire. That way you can help push down, and actually this one's going to break the bead really easily. I'll then work my way around, breaking the bead as we go around this tire, all the way around and on both sides as well. Sorry, I only had one hand doing this, but as you can see, I broke the bead on the other side as well. And just make sure you break it all the way around. After I've broken the bead all the way around, I'll then push the tire into the drop center of the wheel. I'll then take a tire spoon, insert it in between the wheel and the tire, and then you'll be able to feel the bead up and over the rim itself like such. Now that I got the bead started around the rim, I'll start to work my way all the way around until I get this whole bead off. Now, if you're on the trail and you have a puncture in your tube, at this point you can stop. You don't have to take the tire off anymore. You can just unscrew your valve stem cap there and peel out your tube. If you have a new tube, just put it in. If not, you can patch it if you can. To help me remove the tire from the wheel, I'm going to remove the tube itself. Then just peel your tube out like so. Just got the tube out. If you can see, there's a large bulge right near the valve stem. That indicates a weak spot in the tube itself, meaning I wouldn't recommend driving on this. After you reach through, then take your spoon, put it over, put your knee on the tire itself, and you work the tire off.
A few moments later.
Right. Then you take your knee, push down. Oh, take that out now. And peel, move your weight, lean on the wheel and tire, and it'll just come right out. Just like so. Now that your old tire is removed, now what you need to do, you check this 3, 4, 5 times. Make sure that the rotation of your tire is in the correct rotation of the wheel. Then after I make sure my tire is in the correct direction, I then take and soap up the bead on each side, Just a little bit of regular dish soap in a bottle, and you can get your tire on the wheel. Now what I do is I start working on the bottom side of the wheel itself, and I start to work bead on as I walk it around. After your first bead is on, you will then locate your valve stem hole and the valve stem on your tube. There'll be two sets of nuts on there. You'll remove the first one, leave the second one. That's how far your valve stem comes to the actual wheel itself. I usually have it down all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use this tool to go right through the valve stem hole, and that'll actually help me pull my tube through the hole. Otherwise, if you haven't done this before, you'll know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get this through that hole. As you can see, I started to push my tube all the way into the tire, past the bead of the rim. Once you get all that stuffed in, you'll be able to get your bead. You'll be able to get your valve stem through the wheel. With the assistance of my tool here, I'll be able to pull my valve stem right through the wheel as such, making my life a lot easier. Now after you remove the tool, I then like to put the valve stem nut on just a few turns, just so it doesn't sneak back into the wheel and get lost into the bits. This is the tricky part. Now when you take your tire spoon, you reach in underneath the tire in between the wheel, but manage to not pinch the tube. If you do this, it'll cause what's called as a pinch flap. Some of you may have already experienced this before right after having a tire change, but you don't want to do that. It won't be a good time. I'll then hook the bead buddy onto the wheel. That way it'll help me work my bead all the way on the wheel. As you can see, it's effortlessly going on. Most cases I'm not this lucky and I have to fight it the whole way. And you just work your way back to the bead buddy. Now when you get to this point in putting the tire on, you'll notice my bead buddy will be holding it right here. I'll then do something similar to where I started in getting the tire bead into the drop center as far as I can go. And then, all things go to plan, I should be able to just push this over. As so. All set. You just need to add your valve cord back in and inflate your tire. We're not going to balance these wheels today. All I have to do now is tighten my valve stem screw, install the valve core, inflate your tire. I usually wait 1 to 2 hours, check for leaks, make sure that I don't have any pinch flats or anything of the sort. Thank you guys again for tuning in with Eric on Two Wheels. Have a great day.